Hello folks, today I want to talk a little bit about creating with a gentle hand. That gentle hand in a lot of ways will produce your most mesmerizing artwork. It's not unlike that phrase you hear about pool players saying they are going to put English on the ball, or Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus, they put something special on the golf ball as well. So that process and that idea is something that you can employ in your artwork. And what I mean about a gentle hand is it's the softness that you start to apply your medium colors and orientation to shapes against shapes. And what you see me doing here is, and you've seen in all my numerous videos, I usually start out with a heavy brushwork. Down underneath here it's dark. There's no rhyme or reason to it other than my organic abstraction. But on top of that, I start freezing the layers with glazes or mediums, and as I bring it up, I start cutting into it to create my unique style. So what I want to do is show you, as I'm working down here on the table, what exactly I mean about that gentle hand. Because that gentle hand is something that gives a lot of pleasure in the end phases of doing your artwork. Your artwork starts to, it mesmerizes me. That's why I chose that word. It's probably the most enjoyable process. Maybe it's why we all make art, to just experience that feeling. It's calm, it's very pleasurable. And you're like the master of your world on here, the world you're creating, image-wise. And, just the subtle marks you make have the biggest effect. So, and it produces something that's very personal to you and also your personal style. So no matter how you start your art pieces, you can gain more control through the whole process. As you bring it down to all your finite decisions, get slower, calmer about how you apply your medium, and you're going to see wonderful, this is the word, it's the word I'm trying to find, maybe like a gentle scintillating effect come off that surface. It's just going to helps you compose your total abstract imagery. And of course, this could apply to representational artists as well. I mean, both our disciplines have run in parallel tracks anyway. So, but this abstract track that maybe a lot of you run in forces you to pull unique images out of your imagination. So maybe this will help. And let me show you what I mean by hand down on the surface of these two pieces. And the reason I work also in two pieces, sometimes I work in several pieces at once. When you're working in two pieces, they contrast each other, they work off each other. So when I get bored with one piece, I'll work on another piece and I'll go back and forth. When I investigate and find one solution over here, I'll try to apply it over here. And I could have 3, 4 of these lined up, and sometimes I do. So that also helps perpetrate a personal style to you as well by working on several pieces. It helps control your hand and decision making and color combinations. So always try to work on more pieces than one. I've mentioned that before. It's going to make you more productive and make your work more unique and personal to you. So here we go. Let's go to the next step. Okay, folks, here we go. So let me get into, I have the two pieces here, but I want to get into both of these and show you what I was just discussing about pulling out all these gentle areas, of course, with that gentle hand. It's always the gentle hand that will pull out these nice subtleties of intonation and color. So let me start with this one. This one seems to have gone down the path of being a little more gentle. So what I see here, I look for these areas of light, unique colors next to each other, and then I look for underlying patterns. They're very faint. I look for stuff down underneath my surfaces that I can pull out. So I saw this line here, and I want to pull this line out a little more, and I'm using what's a fat Lyra Color Giant pencil. But it's a very waxy content, so it merges well with my oil pastels, and you can create nice gentle toning. And I'm just going over this very softly, and I don't want to do too much. And where's my miracle blender? Here's that miracle blender, the RF blending medium with dryer. So I will come in here just in this area, and you can see how it starts to soften it, knock it down, and blend it into the background. And then if I want to pull out something from this area, I'll come in here lighter with a oil pastel, and you can see gently how I'm just going over the top, and I may not touch it too much. It just give it my finger still has that residue of the blender, and just give it a couple hits, and that's all I want. That's all I'm looking for. And then I see another area in here that's quite warm, and I want to warm it up just a little more. So I'm looking for my oranges, my pinks, and let's see if I got the right color. And I kind of clean the edges because I want a fresh bite on that surface. And you can see what's going on in there. It's just a little lighter, a little hotter, and it pulls up off the surface. And then I'm coming in here with a kind of light fuchsia color, but not much. I'm not doing too much. I just want gentle nuance, and you can see how that got a little richer, but I want to knock down the edges, and I want it to feel like it's joined with the underlayers. I don't want it to sit there kind of like a sore thumb. And then I'll use these China markers, which you've seen me using. These are the Sharpie peel off China marker, or I'll use these Neo Color Caran d'Ache whites. And then I'll bring that in here. I see an area here, and then I see this area, and I don't want to go to the edge. I'm kind of working in the middle. And it's so subtle, you almost don't see it. I see it here. I don't know if you'll see it on the video. And then I try to blend that in. And then I'll look for another lighter tone. Here we go. And I'm not going to the edge. I'm kind of creating another body, another area here. There we go. So I kind of merged this area nicely. I like to pull out in here next. So first I'll start with this China marker, and the China marker is very waxy, blends nicely, and that's just, you can see the touch and effect it does, just enough. So let me get it up here. That's just enough. I don't want too much more, and that's all I need. There you go. And I might create a hotter area or a lighter area. Heat and light to me kind of are the same thing, so you'll learn how I use my words. So, but I want to knock it down again. I want to knock it down, let it blend in with the background. And you see I have a kind of an invisible line here. Very light line. There's something I want to do, but I'm not sure yet. And then that line is here. There's something I want to do. Something, and I like that area here. And I think I'm going to pull this area out. So I'm kind of giving more form to this shape. And you can see how that creates a little more intrigue on the surface. So then I hit the magic blender. And that's what's on the end of my thumb. That's from that blender. And I'm going in, and there we go. And then I'll go in with a clean finger and just feather those edges down. But that's all I want, and you can see what that did right there. That's just enough. And you can see how these hot areas are starting to merge, are starting to work together and off of each other. I have one here I want to make lighter and heat up, so I've got to clean my hands. Where's my rag? Here. You always want to have a rag because I'm going to introduce another color and I want it to be clean. So I'm going to come in here, and if you can see this, let's see, here we go. Very gently. And I'm going to hit an area right there with this almost pink. And this one I'm just putting in without any of that magic cream. There you go. So that's one of them. And then I'll come over here and I'll look for, this is the other piece. And on this piece, I'll look for those same areas. So that's the beauty of working on a few pieces at the same time, because I'm applying the same principle in the same time frames as I'm coming to the end. So I see some dirtiness in here that I want to define. I'm not sure how I want to define it, but here I don't think I want to go to an edge. And I'm just going to come in this body of color here, and I'm going to heat it up. There we go. I don't know what it is, why I want to attack this area, but that's why I love abstract. It's pretty freeing, and maybe it's has a calming effect on my jangled nerves, my jangled New York City nerves. And then I'm going to come in here and try to clean this area up a little bit, but just subtly. I want to introduce another color. This is like an ochre, a yellow ochre, you know. So there, just a touch, but I don't like this area. It's too hot. So if I don't like an area, I don't like what I did there, I'm going to take it out. I like this area more, but I'm going to add some more here. And that's just what I needed. And then I'm going to try to make this fit in and become unified with that piece back here. So once again, and then this edge, I want to do something with the edge there, and because I want it to unify the whole body of this, I call it organism. You know, all my abstract stuff is some form of a plant or an organism. I love this organic stuff. So you can see just a little bit there, the beauty of that. Just hitting this a little bit. And of course I leave that edge dirty. You know, and I'm roughing it back into the background. I like dirty edges as well. I don't like a sharp, slick edge. And then over here, because I pulled out this highlight here, I'm looking at unified areas that are similar. So I'll work kind of methodically at this end phase to help bring this whole piece together, try to create cohesion. So I see in here, I want to create a little more pop A little more of a hot area, and there you go. And this is all you have to do on your pieces at home or in your studio. When you're bringing them down to the end, go slow, look at it, work on a few at once, go even slower. And I want to pull out the center of this a little bit, but not too much. So there you go. You're getting a little insight in a different phase of my processes, which you guys are all getting familiar with. So, but I don't know that I like that shape. I'll come back to it another day. I don't really like it. It looks like an add-on. Let's see, and then I might pull out down in here this green a little bit, or there we go. Just a little something, and I'm working in the channels in between the shapes. I'm not going up to the edges. So it's kind of a systematic thing I do. And that the systems you create visually ultimately create your style, but I don't like, yeah, it's okay. So then I'll hit it with a rag and feather it. Let me see, and then I just want to lighten it up and kind of hide this cut. Something happened to the surface, but accidents in your surface are nice too, because they bring the viewer's eye in closely, because the viewer's eye is always trying to make sense of things that are confusing or they've never seen before. So there you go. Two pieces at work, and you saw some unique, easy techniques you can employ, and pretty gentle touches where you can employ at the end of your work. So you all have a great day, and springtime is coming in the northern hemisphere, so that's great. Okay, take care.